I'm Moose Fries, and I'm about to enter my biggest challenge yet. I'm headed deep into the forest of Devil's Island, where danger is lurking at every turn. We've got to be quick and spot on target, because you don't want to be caught out here when the lights go out.
Bum, 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 bum.
You really got to know your business in a place like this. Everything around here can be quite lethal. If you haven't done your homework, and you don't know how to discern the good from the bad, then you're really better off just to leave things as they are, all on their own, rather than get into something poisonous that could make you real sick, or might even kill you altogether. Now, I've been round enough to know what's Kipsy, but we're going to go meet a friend of mine who's an expert on a place like this.
We're going to meet a world-renowned survivalist, and an old acquaintance of mine, who's given up his normal life to live here in this remote forest. He's a French Foreign Legion captain with a background in special ops and a super keen sense of stealth. He was kind enough to give us his exact GPS coordinates. Otherwise, we can't be sure we'd ever find him at all. He's a man of mystery that goes by the name of Goosepan Seared.
Right, there he is. Wait. Oh, that's him, right over there. What was that? Is that him? There he is. We've spotted him right down there. Oh. Right. Okay, we've spotted him right over there. Now I'm just going to go in and make first contact.
Out of all of the lush greenery all about you, the prospects for food here are actually quite thin. Most everything in view is poisonous. Some of the plants here don't even need to be digested to do you harm. It's enough to just brush against them. No pun intended.
C'est slipper bouché. Ton latte chaud, un croissant, et oulala. Oh, on a tombé.
This is a dowter bush. It's really a mixed up sort. The foliage of this plant is super toxic, even to the touch. But the nuts that grow on it are good to eat. Goose tells me all of the poisons are produced and contained in the leaves. The branches, stems and roots show no signs of it. It's quite peculiar. The bush almost appears to be at odds with itself, like it doesn't truly know what it wants to be. If you're careful, you can take a meal of these nuts with you. But one wrong move and you're plant food. The best way to handle these is with extreme care. The more gentle you are, the easier it is to get at the good stuff. If you go beating round it with a stick, you risk souring the whole bush. But if you pay close attention and move with care, you can put your hand right in the middle and get at the heart of the bush. If you're not sure your hand is steady enough for this kind of surgery, you do have another option.
Now, the creatures that live in these forests are quite dangerous, but they're amazingly tough animals, and smart too. If one of them starts to feel sick, they'll find one of these dowter bushes and eat it. The chemicals that would normally poison us work as sort of an antacid in the stomach of the beast. Devouring one of these doubters makes them feel much better. As with any animal, what goes in must come out. If you're lucky, you might come across some dung from one of them that's eaten a bush. Now, as you can see, the nuts are all but untouched. Since they don't contain any chemicals to react with, they're still safe to eat. Since all the toxins have been used up inside the creature, you can just dig in. There we are. Dust them off and have a go. Tastes like a bit of coconut that's been dragged through a sewer behind a gussy rat.
Crème Suzanne, les croissants, les chocolats mousse, en bagel et taco. Et no taco.
Come on.
One of the worst things you'll encounter in this forest is the mosquitoes. If you allow one of these to bite you, you're playing with fire. They're called dabbler mosquitoes because they dab their stingers into the various poisonous plant life engulfing this forest. They will then use that small amount of toxic residue as sort of an antiseptic to disguise their needle-like bite. Because of this tactic, it's hard to tell when you've been bitten at all. The longer these buggers stay on your skin, the more risk you run of being infected with one of 100 different types of bacteria they're known to carry. You've got to be on your guard with dabblers and put an end to their attack before it puts an end to you. The best way to defend against dabblers is a good swat. These pests rely so heavily on their numbing tactics, they will often come straight for you, head on. Their instinct leads them to the vital organs, so they will usually go straight for the hearts. When you see them coming, give them a good wallop to change their course.
I don't know if you can see it, but the rain's picked up quite a bit around here. But if we're lucky, we might be able to catch a glimpse of one of these forest dwellers. Now, here, we finally get a safe look at the size of these creatures we've been talking so much about. Just look at it! These things dominate the food chain. There's no doubt who's in charge around here. They're called deceiverasses, and they'll eat you alive. Now, we're safe right now because it's too early in the day for any of them to be up and about. They're very nocturnal creatures. They can't stand any form of light, not at all, especially natural light. Typically, the younger ones tend to be a bit more aggressive, while the older ones, they can stand up to a little bit of light. But usually, if you get up and away, they won't often pursue. Nobody's really sure where they go to during the day. They don't go back to the caves because they can't stand the smell of themselves or the sound of their own echoes. They prefer to be out in the open air of the world, but well out of sight when there's any light present. As soon as darkness creeps up over the horizon, they have the run of the place. What's worse is they're a silent hunter, and though they leave a big impression, their feet are specially padded to absorb and muffle the sound of anything they may trample over. You could be standing right next to one and not even know it. Not a good situation to be in. Your best bet for making it through this forest is to walk only in the light.
Bum, 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 bum.